Yo, welcome back to a brand new Craftopia guide. In today's guide, we are going to be talking about the biplane. Now, as always, if you enjoyed this video, please do drop a like and subscribe. Comment down below of any help that you may need in the game or your thoughts on the biplane. But let's do this. Now, another awesome addition that we got from the winter content update was the biplane. This plane has to be one of the most anticipated items in the whole game, purely because it's been on our main menus for such a long time, but it has only just made its way into the game. So today we are going to run through exactly how to make it and why you would want to use it. Now, we do need to be in the age of scientific research, which is the current highest age in the game. We would then enter our skilled machine factory, and in here you will see the biplane. Now, the biplane is actually fairly cheap to create. It simply requires 20 hardened platinum alloy, 5 engines of Jupiter, 20 lightweight frames, 20 bolts, and 5 bargain mechanical parts. Now, the plane will work the same as any other vehicle, where you throw it down and then you have to pick it back up. However, the winter update also removed vehicles taking damage while just flying or driving around in them. This means you can fly for as long as you like in helicopters, biplanes, drive around in the buggies, whatever it is, and your vehicle won't take damage unless you are crashing into things. This actually makes vehicles a lot more usable now. Before, I didn't bother with vehicles because the Griffin and the Dragon both only used stamina rather than actually taking damage and me having to pick them back up and put them back down. This would simply allow faster transportation around the map, and a lot of the times I would get to where I need to be without my stamina of my Dragon or my Griffin running out. This essentially means I have unlimited travel without even the need to pick it back up, because pets just instant pick up when you right click or use your left trigger if you're on console. So this now means that vehicles are a lot more useful, so the plane is actually worth getting, especially as it's so cheap to make. So let's go through everything we need to make one. So we need 20 hardened platinum alloy. You can just find these inside your skilled furnace, and they simply require platinum ingots, rare metal, and chemicals, all very easy materials to get. Next, we need 5 engines of Jupiters. Now, the problem is with all these vehicle parts is they take very long to make. So you're going to want a skilled machine factory. In fact, I actually had a little area where I had about 4 made up just because certain things take so long inside the skilled machine factory. And this is where you will really start to discover this if you haven't already, building things like a tank. Tanks take forever to make because it takes so long for each item to process round. Now, to make the engines of Jupiter, and remember you do need 5, you're going to need 10 engine parts, 10 high capacity batteries, 10 fuel tanks, and 30 aluminium ingots. Now again, you must times all of those by 5 because you do need 5 engines of Jupiter, and that's just the requirements to make one. Now all of these resources, the high capacity battery, the fuel tank, and the aluminium ingots, are all very easy to get. You can either make them yourselves or you get them from the drop pods that fall out the sky. I'm sure you've had a bunch stacked up by now if you're looking into guides on how to make a biplane. And the engine parts, they are easy to make, but again, these will take a long time. They take a long time to process rounds, but they only require aluminium ingots, cogwheels, and copper ingots. So they are cheap to make, they will just take a while. So get yourself 5 engines of Jupiter. Next, we need to make 20 lightweight frames. These you can find in your workbench. Scroll down to intermediate products, and here you will find lightweight frames. Now they are cheap as well to make. They only require 5 titanium ingots and 1 silver ingot, both of which are very easy to obtain. You can just get them out and about as you're exploring. And just above our lightweight frames, we also have our bolts. Our bolts require shape memory alloys and silver ingots. Now the shape memory alloys, they can be obtained from drop pods as well, but they can also be crafted inside a furnace, and the silver ingots just smelt some silver ore. And finally, we need 5 bargain mechanical parts. Now bargain mechanical parts, they're not as easy to obtain because you can't necessarily farm them, but what you can do is you can find them on merchants very often. If you look around islands 5, 6, and 7, you will find bargain mechanical parts quite a lot. However, I actually find that the new fishing system, which I will be covering in a video coming up, is actually very fast to obtain bargain mechanical parts. These are the ones I have here. They only have the wet enchant, so they're not very good, but for planes and things like that, it really doesn't matter. But you actually obtain bargain mechanical parts nearly every time you you hit a fishing spot. And I have a little farm trick that means you can hop to the same fishing spot over and over, which means you can really farm these mechanical parts quicker than what you think. So once we have all of our resources, we can head into our skilled machine factory, head down to the biplane, and let's craft one. Now, as you can see, it takes a very long time to craft, but as I said, a lot of stuff on the skilled machine factory does. If you haven't made a tank before, just don't. It takes so long, it's painful, and each individual part takes a long time as well. So you really do need a good few skilled machine factory set up just to make it at least somewhat faster, because it's just painfully slow. But we're getting there with this biplane. Let's just skip the rest of this process. And we're finally done. Let's go. Let's collect our plane. Let's head out to a map. Now, we are going to need to build a little runway because it's a little bit temperamental. So let's head out to somewhere where we can build a flat surface. Okay, so we have our island of residence we're on right now, and I've built a little platform. Now, the best thing to keep in mind when placing down your biplane is whichever way you're facing and you throw it, it will spawn facing that way. So for example, I want to fly off the end here, so I'm going to stand right at the back and I'm going to throw it in front of me here, which will spawn the back of it where I was stood. Now, as you can see, it's very big, so be careful where you do throw it down. Now, you don't actually need a full runway. It does fly up almost instantly, but if you're on the floor and the slightest little thing is in the way, like an animal or a tiny stone, this thing will flip. So your best bet is to build up and just put a little platform. I've actually lifted off of a single square before. When I was messing around with it in the first place, I was flying it out to drop pods, putting down one square floor, and I was able to lift it off of that. So you do not need a runway. This is just what we're going to use for demonstration purposes. So as you can see, it's very big. It's also equipped with guns. It's got these two turret machine guns up the top here, and then it's got these rockets equipped on the front, and they are all usable. Now, when you're flying this thing, it also has a boost, but if you're on PC, it's kind of weird. So you've got WASD to fly around as usual, but then you have the arrow keys to actually yaw. Now, it isn't the end of the world, however. It's kind of annoying. I wish I could just use my mouse. I feel like I would have a lot more control of it because it can get a little bit wild and it is very, very fast. So let's hop inside then. Now, I do not know what the controls will be like on controller, but I got a feeling they're going to be a lot nicer, especially if it's double analog sticks for flying. I feel like that's going to be really cool. But unfortunately, I'm on PC, so I have to use WASD and arrow keys. So if we take a look at our very bottom here, we've got change speed, which is W and S, and then we have yaw, which is A and D. We then have roll, which is left and right on the arrow keys, and we then have pitch, which is up and down on the arrow keys. We can then use shift to get a very fast boost. We've then got space and C for our guns. We then do have an option to escape, but it's very buggy. It is cool when it works. You do actually kind of project out the top. It's very awesome. And get off is just get out as normal. So let's go ahead and fly this thing. So to start off with, we need the speed. So we would need W. We would then hit up on our arrow keys, which will bring the pitch of the plane up. So we're going to go W and up at the same time. So if this is controller, I would imagine that's up on both analog sticks will actually make you take off. But here we go. So we're going to go W and then up. We're going to get there. We're going to get there. There we go. We're off. Now, the noise of the plane is very annoying. Now, I will turn that noise down for you guys because that is painful. And I'm actually going to turn it down for myself. But there we go. This is the biplane. It's very cool. As you can see, this is the standard speed. We can hit W and S to slow down. So this is slower. This is speeding up. There's only two speeds, basically. You've got W and you've got S. S is this kind of slowly come down. W is just, we're just going forward. We would then hit A and D to do a normal turn, like so. So this is A, which will bring us right round. Now we are going to want to bring the pitch up to start flying over this mountain here. It's very weird to fly, let's just say that. Especially using arrow keys. I really don't like using arrow keys. If we hit boost, this thing gets fast. So the reason I picked the island of residence is it's big, it's got buildings. We can really test this thing out. So let's go round up here. Let's bring that round. It's definitely going to take some getting used to. I personally haven't got used to it yet. But if it is both analog sticks on controller, then this could be super fun to fly, especially with how fast it is. And as you can see, it doesn't take any damage when you're just flying it around, so you can fly forever, fly for as long as you like. It's actually really cool. The maps aren't quite big enough for it. I feel like it definitely does need the seamless map update when that finally does drop, but it's cool either way. I really like it. I keep one on me at all times. I haven't particularly used it a crazy amount, but it's very fun to use. I'm not sure why it's doing this slow down boost thing. Oh my god, we might crash. Oh, we're good, we're good. But yeah, it's very fast. It's a little bit fiddly. It's just very, very cool. So as I mentioned, it is then equipped with 2 guns. So we have Space, which is this machine gun. It's savage, but it's extremely hard to hit your shots. But you've got infinite supply of that. It doesn't need to reload, and you can just hold it. On top of that, you can then hit C, which will shoot rockets off. But overall, the plane is just very, very cool, especially for the speed. I really like the speed of it. This with a seamless map could be really cool. I'm not the biggest fan of this seamless map idea, and obviously that might change when I actually see it. But as of right now, I love the travel system we have, and I don't want to see that go. But knowing that we have things like these planes will have some cool uses when we have full-size maps, like, I'm kind of down for that, you know? Like, that's something that I could fully get on board with. Oh, I see my NOS is running out. That's why it's doing that slow down thing, but my boost does run out. It does recharge very fast. Try to do some styling on them. It's just cool. I like it, and it's very cheap to make. Let's try to bring this in for a landing right now. Straighten out. Turn. Oh no. Speed up! We missed the runway, and unfortunately, that may be it for the plane. No! The plane's gonna blow! Run! No! Hopefully you guys are better pilots than I am, because that was awful. But I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do drop a like and subscribe. Comment down below of any help that you may need in the game, or what do you think of the biplane? I hope they adjust some controls eventually, but overall, I really like it. I think it's a cool addition, and I think we will see the true potential when we get that seamless map. Please be safe while you're flying out there. Do not land in the ocean like me, or you will need to make another biplane. But most importantly, enjoy the rest of your day. Stay safe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace!